Good morning and welcome to Backyard and Beyond. And we're so glad to have Susan Oliver here. Good morning to you.
Good morning, LaVon. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And you have something new and different that you're doing, I think, called Mom's Night Out, but it doesn't involve a spa, I don't believe.
A spy? Oh, a spa.
A spa.
No,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but
it has good stuff.
it has good stuff.
Okay, we need to tell people, we'll remind them again, but the date and the time and the place for this.
Sure, we're going to have this out at the Cass County Community Center. It's just such a nice facility. It's really accommodating for what we have, but it's really open to any mom, any age youth, but primarily around like the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, maybe a little bit younger, maybe a little older kind of thing, but the activities we'll actually be doing are more geared for those age groups at the Cass County Community Center at 7 p.m. that evening, and it's on Monday, October 18th.
Okay. And when you're talking about who can come, I'm thinking grandmas. There are a lot of grandmas and grandpas that are directly involved with those age kids. Now, are men allowed? This is Mom's Night Out.
This is also extension, though, and we're non-discriminatory. Nobody's really asked. There's nothing too terribly specific, just kind of that idea of women getting together and
I think given the subject, this is kind of special for moms, for the female gender, because it has to do with science. And we often think of, science is for men and not for women.
Oh, sure. Actually, and like you said, grandmas would be appropriate. The main guardian and contact. What the idea was, this is part of STEM. It's science, technology, engineering, and math. It's an Iowa initiative by the 3 Regents universities, and they've just found that parental units, the guardian, whoever's in direct contact with the youth, are really influential in kids having careers in science and math fields later in life. And the reason we do kind of target moms or the female gender is because we want to impress that it isn't just for men, it's for everyone, but it's also for young women. And we do have some specific programs within Extension, some curriculums, WISE, Women in Science and Engineering. So we will be covering a little bit of the kits available through Extension. I also have funtivities, some more science nutrition type things available. I have to talk about, I have a partner in crime in this event, Mr. Bruce Hansen from the Atlantic School System. I went to him. I know he works a lot with his parents and a lot with his youth in the science fields, but also connecting parents and their kids, because he knows that that's kind of a better experience. And so I approached him. I said, do you think we can do this? And so we're kind of just having fun with this.
Great. And Mr. Hansen has a wonderful reputation of as a teacher and as a person in general, but as a teacher, I keep hearing great things about Mr. Hansen and how he works with kids, the parents, and the other teachers that work together with it. So yeah, great partner. I think you give yourself a plus for that.
Well, I think that Extension provides a lot of great things, but we also recognize the value in all the businesses in the communities, the other organizations that work with youth, the adults in children's lives. Everyone is really critical to create a good experience for our young people, and so we want to champion other people's causes as well.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about, it's 7 o'clock. Moms or grandmas, as you say, the person who works with the child most, comes into the Cass County Community Center. What's going to happen then?
Okay. Well, we will have some refreshments for them, and so they'll have some time to kind of mix and mingle. Like I said, I don't think you can miss that opportunity in these scenarios, because sometimes we learn the most from our peers, not necessarily the presenters. So we'll have some time for that. We will open up with some facts about how parents or guardians are critical in this role, talk to them a little bit about the basis of the program. Then we will break them up and just kind of split them in half. Mr. Hansen has some science experiments. I have some science experiments. We're going to let them do those, and we've kind of targeted experiments that could be really easily replicated, because at this point they're coming by themselves so that they can connect. We do have some youth council people and some other senior level 4-H members that will be providing some children's activities in another room, so kind of child care, so we are enabling more people to come. And then we also we'll have some of the kits available for them to get their hands on, look at, see if they'd like to borrow those to do something just with their friends. If they'd like to consider having some sort of club, this would always fit with our innovative 4-H club model. And then Mr. Hansen has some online activities that he wants to introduce them to as well, because a lot of us really are based on our computers. We're doing a lot of things there, and so if you can be using that as a teaching tool, that's a great option as well.
So what I hear you saying is that moms can go home and do this with their kids. This isn't going to be some high-powered kind of thing that they can do. They can go home and do and replicate these with their children.
Sure, and even all the things that we'll do with them that night, they can replicate. And then also the kits that I have within our office and our extension system, we'd be happy to provide them some additional education on. We'd be happy to check out the kits. So they have some things that maybe you wouldn't have in your home.
Can you give a couple of examples of, an experiment that's going to use stuff they have at home versus one that's maybe in the kit?
Sure. One thing I'll be doing is talking about bubbles and kind of the science of bubbles. It's silly, it's fun. I thought, well, I get to play, and I'm going to play with alliteration. We're going to do some stuff with bubbles and balloons.
All right.
So that's what we'll be doing that evening, that they can take home and replicate really easily.
And not expensive. They don't have to go out and buy anything. It's something they have at home.
Yep. There's some pretty simple little techniques that we'll get to play with. And then as far as kits go, like I said, we have all sorts of different kits, and some of them, might just include a DVD that really walks them through the process and does the processing for you, because it's really important when you're working with young people, the do, reflect, apply. So have them do something, but make sure you talk with them about what they did, otherwise they miss kind of the learning potential there. So there's some guides for that, or our Funtivities kits, you can create a circuit, and there's some wiring and pieces that you might not have, turning on light bulbs and just looking at those intricate things.
Okay. And this isn't anything that the mom, the leader, has to be an expert at. It's all there for them, and so they don't have to say, well, I can't do this because I'm not good at science.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this is all things that everybody could do.
I'll be honest, I'm not great at science. What I am really passionate about, though, is giving kids the opportunities to do what's important to them. And so, years down the road, if my son is interested in science, it'd be really nice to have some resources to help him, because that isn't my forte. Just had some training in this, and so that's how I'm going to help pass that along.
And I think, and I've said this to several groups, that sometimes those small things, like creating the bubbles, is something that a child will remember 50 years from now as a great thing. You don't have to go to Disneyland and spend thousands of dollars sometimes to create those really special moments. It's doing it together and finding out stuff.
Sure. We're just really excited about getting parents something that they can try. And again, right now, our times things are pricey, and not everybody has extra cash in their wallet, so we'll give them some activities that they can create good experiences.
Sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Well, you can come, LaVon.
Oh, can I come? Okay. And there isn't any fee for this?
No fee. Everything's kind of brought to you primarily by Cass County Extension. We do have resources from all across the state, some activities from IPTV, some coupons and resources, and there's things from the Iowa Children's Museum. It's quite a ways away. It's in Iowa City, but it looks really phenomenal. And then the Science Center of Iowa is just in Des Moines, so we've got some handouts too.
We should mention this is happening around the state of Iowa. If you don't come to Atlantic, there are a number of places, and call Susan, I guess, if you want to find out where.
Sure.
I know there's one happening in Greenfield, but
yes, absolutely.
I'm sure there's many others. If you, like I say, you hear about it, you can't come to Atlantic, well,
There might be
Find
another option.
Yeah, another
Absolutely.
option. We want to thank you very much for coming out and telling us about this new exciting program, Mom's Night Out, on October 18th at 7 o'clock at Cass County Community Center. And in the meantime, this is especially for Susan, because she tells me she's a worrier. Rather than sitting and worrying, do something, anything. Worrying is a waste of time.